my behavior, my personal behavior as a standard for universal behavior.
Yes, that's basically, I think that's a very, very concise summary of what Immanuel Kant wanted to say, yes.
Yeah. In 10 minutes, we have to come up with three points of this ethical manifesto for fashion.
Okay.
So the fashion manifesto in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Is not a point, but is what I want to achieve. My manifesto ideally is not more than 5 points, not 15. First point is the behavior of the brand should be measure of the behavior of any brand. Is that clear enough? Is not. We can put a star and then see details below. How do we do it?
Well, the question is, how do you measure this with all of these things? How do you measure it? You need some way of making it a KPI. And the problem is, of course, that if I decide to make handbags from an oil-based material, then I need to think about what does that mean in terms of the raw materials I'm using, what does that mean in pollution and disposal and all of these things. So I think, yes, you can make that a headline, but you would always have to go into a few bullet points of what actually is required to measure this.
Do you think that blockchain will help to sort these things out?
I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is that so few people understand it. I think blockchain is so complicated that making it something universally adopted is going to be a huge task.
We could say perhaps in the first 3 lines of this manifesto that if you want to be ethical, you have to expose yourself as a person and expose as many people in the manufacturing and supply chain. So you can track down the people, like for instance, of course, I am doing my thing and it's me. So these are my contacts, you can contact me. So even if there is a CEO, even if there is a manager of this, a manager of there, but you do have the possibility to get in touch. You know who made it. The concept of who made my clothes pretty much is the one that really goes to narrow to the point the most.
I agree.
If you are ethical branding fashion, you must apply to who made my clothes. At least this. I think that at this stage it's quite important to identify really who is behind the brand, who is behind the logo.
Yeah, it's really important also for just to build a connection with the customer because I don't know if you've seen it. For example, my friend Sean from Ethical Hour, she's been talking a lot about how ethical brands often want to almost hide behind their brand rather than expose themselves, to use your word, as the people behind the brand. And this is what consumers want. There's a huge lack of trust nowadays from customers to brands, big brands. Basically, we're all jaded from advertising and all of these things. We don't believe that brands are doing good stuff anymore, that they operate on a human level that we can even understand. But as soon as you come out behind that logo and you open yourself up as a person, that may feel scary, but actually it's one of the best things you could do. So I would totally recommend that as many brands as possible do this.